All right, so that dude was ready to start crying because JD Vance called him Jose instead of Alan, or what the fuck was his
Alex.
name?
It was Alex.
Alex.
But I loved
Okay.
how diverse that MSNBC panel was. You
Mm,
know, they had the black guy and another black guy and another. Yes, I mean, so diverse. I love it. No white people in sight. Um,
nice.
Please stay far away from me. Go on and save yourself. Say no farewell.
Welcome to the Quarantine Podcast. I'm Keith, and today we have a very special guest. We have Charlie Dead in the house today. Charlie, how you doing?
Doing very good. Good. Glad to be here. Seen you've been getting some good guests lately, and I'm glad to be back.
Oh yeah, we had Jermaine on a couple days ago. You can go check that out on YouTube. That was a fun one because Jermaine's someone I listened to a lot in 2020 when the world went crazy. So what's new with you? What's popping in politics on your end?
Not much. You know, the big beautiful bill just passed. I have mixed feelings on that. Other than that, you know, just trying to survive the 4th of July weekend here in the city. But yeah, it's been going good. Yeah, I trying to think of what's new in politics. You know, there's been a lot popping off. The Diddy trial has been big. The freak offs will continue. I mean, Diddy ain't going away for too long.
Bust out that baby oil.
Oh yeah, what you were talking about videos of, you know, people throwing baby oil all over themselves. I seen a picture of it. That was crackhead Barney. She's always doing
shit.
crazy shit. Yeah, she was throwing baby oil all over herself outside the courtroom.
Let's talk about a little bit of censorship.
No, we don't like censorship here.
Not want your money going to immigrants who, quote, rape our kids and get priority, end quote. This offence is so serious that an immediate custodial sentence is unavoidable. Would you stand, please? The sentence that I pass has been reduced by 1/3 to reflect your guilty plea. The sentence is one of 20 months imprisonment.
All right, I'm gonna play that one more time because this is basically something that he posted on social media. And
The guy that's going to jail?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
getting 20 months in prison for saying that.
Do you know where this
One more
is? Like
time.
this, it's obviously
This
Europe,
is in Britain.
right? Britain. Okay, what the hell is
Want
he
your
wearing?
money
Like-
going to immigrants who, quote, rape our kids and get priority, end quote. This offence
That's all he said.
Yeah. No, even if he said worse, again, like they don't. That's why we're so lucky to be Americans. A lot of people, again, you know, the same people that I do that like to shit all over America. Like, yeah, it's not perfect. Nothing is. But let me tell you, the First Amendment, freedom of speech, it's definitely something to be very, very thankful for. They don't have those sorts of things over in these other countries. And yeah, and Jordan Peterson kind of called it early when he started talking about, you know, like hate speech laws and how it's like, okay, well, they say that it's not really anything serious, but it's like, okay, well, what happens if you break it? Well, they're going to give you a fine. Okay, well, what happens if you don't pay the fine? Well, then it's just going to escalate, you know? So it's yeah, I really do not like what's happening around the world with free speech, but what do? You got to be thankful to be in America.
Yeah, you really do. And I go into censorship a lot. I was censored, and I bring it up far too often in 2020 with the Hunter Biden laptop. Shut everything down and shit.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it was
COVID.
so
There were
pathetic.
doctors. Yeah.
Mhm.
Doctors that, you know, were putting stuff out about COVID. They shut them down. The guy that, you know, helped create the mNRA, is that what it is? The mNRA? Like, I don't know.
mRNA,
That-
yeah.
Yeah, that vaccine, you know, they tried to shut him up. He went on Joe Rogan's podcast. They didn't want to play it. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, you look back and I just seen this video today. It was a father whose the mom and this kid went to go get vaccinated. The father told him no, but they did it anyway. And now the kid has myocarditis. And then the father called back the pharmacy, and they're like, "Yo, what's going on? Why didn't you tell the parents what's going on with this jab and what are the side effects of it? And why didn't you tell them about the myocarditis was happening with a lot of young men?" And the pharmacist said, "Well, we didn't want to scare them and deter them from taking the vaccine." And it's that type of shit where I'm like, that's just fucking disgusting. So they're like,
Yeah.
we don't want to tell you what the fuck's gonna happen and shit in case it does happen. We want you to just get that shot because they're getting paid for it. They're getting a lot of money to force that shit on people.
Yeah. I talk about people or talk with this to people that, again, liberals that I used to talk with, like Bernie Sanders supporters, because, I used to be one. And it's like, when did you start supporting the pharmaceutical companies, right? Like, when they shut everything down, it was the biggest transfer of wealth to the upwards, direction. And pharmaceutical companies, they made a killing, they just trusted them blindly. Yeah, it's wild times we're living in. I don't even know, the liberals that I used to know, it seems like they've changed their values. I haven't changed my values. It's like Jimmy Dore, got to give a shout out to Jimmy Dore. He's somebody that has been very consistent on a lot of things.
Yeah, I like Jimmy. Really dope. So, with that being said, my phone just shut down. So about the censorship, what do you do with misinformation on Facebook? So let's say someone is just posting some, basically CNN, but let's just say it's just fake news bullshit all the time, 24/7. Do you leave that shit up? Should there be any disciplinary action, or what's the...
Well, are we talking like from the news organization themselves? If news organization puts up misinformation, like when they said Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation, they should take that down because they're supposed to be a reputable news organization. You're going to them for facts, and if the facts are wrong, then I think they should take it down. Now, do they should they be forced to? No. But I think if they want to keep their reputation, then they should. If you're going to keep something like that up, you're kind of, but when it comes to people post bullshit all the time. That's kind of our right? It's, if you want to post some stupid shit online, do it. If you're a news organization and you want to post some stupid shit online that's been debunked, again, go ahead and do it. I don't think you should be forced to take it down. But the more people see that, the more you're going to lose credibility. They should issue a correction, and they should apologize for how wrong they got a lot of things. And I think that's why people don't trust the news media anymore, because they're wrong on everything. And it's not new. It's not anything like that's recent. They've been wrong on all kinds of shit, for years and years and years. Like since the 90s, the news media has been wrong on all kinds of shit. The only difference is back then we didn't have the internet to, open our eyes to share stuff. The news could lie to you back in the 90s. There was no way to fact check it, really.
Yeah, I think at the end of every year, CNN should just go through all their stories that they got wrong and just recycle their whole entire year in like a couple days, because they're wrong on so much shit. Recently, the Maryland dad, the human trafficker,
well, see, that's just it.
Beating MS-13 member.
But that's the thing is that, to check it out though, that's the thing is that that's how you know it's not a real news organization. Like they've probably been infiltrated by the deep state and the CIA, because what they're doing is they know that's misinformation. It's not like when you said, they should go over all the things they got wrong. They don't get it wrong. They're doing it on purpose. It's programming, they want you to believe this stuff. They want you to think of him as a Maryland man. They want you to think that, can you believe what happened? A judge ordered him to have to come back. He didn't have due process. They keep saying he didn't have due process. No, he did have due process. Again, I get into a lot of arguments with people about this too. Like, do you think every court, every issue that you have is going to be seen by a jury? Like, if I want to fight or argue a speeding ticket, they're not going to, try to start drawing in jury members. Like, he had due process. I don't understand what people think that he did not have. You know,
I'm
there was
pretty sure his visa ran out years ago. So, I mean,
Well,
it was time for him to go home anyway.
Yeah, well, you know what's really shocking is that fucking judge that walked that dude out the back door. I mean, we laugh, but how crazy is that?
It is
how
crazy.
Like,
God
I mean,
damn.
a judge being like, "Oh, come on." Well, the people that he victimized were still there. Well, the people that he victimized were sitting in the courtroom, like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Don't worry about this. We're getting them out of here." Like, again,
Just
talk
all
about
like-
due process. That's the due process that a lot of these people want. Sneak them out the back door. That's the due process.
Could you picture that shit? Like, I picture a judge just sitting there. This dude's all fucked up because he got his ass almost beat to death. His wife got beat up. And
Yep.
it's just all like, fucking, you guys think about this for a second. We're going to go into recess. Jose,
Yeah.
come on, motherfucker. Let's go. Get him out of here. Like, what the
I know.
fuck?
Like the cops, from what I understand, I just had to chase him down. Like, actually, you know, it was a foot chase. Like, good
Did
lord.
you see the footage?
I didn't, honestly. No. I
that
mean,
shit
I've
was-
seen like pictures of the
he
footage,
almost
but I-
got away. So they actually, when they went back there before they snuck Chupacabra out, like they went back there and there was 2 ICE agents. They only seen the one, so they started talking to the one, and this chick in there, some lawyer or whatever she was, starts walking with them down the hallway like, "Hey, you need to go over here, blah, blah, blah." And as they're walking down there, there's still the one ICE agent sitting down, and they see him sneak him out the other way. And then dude just kind of follows them outside the court, and then you just see a fucking foot chase in the middle of the street and shit. Just motherfuckers
yeah.
are running. Shit's wild. I'm like, this is
That bitch needs
this
to
is
be
America.
disbarred. She needs to have her whatever disbar, whatever they call that, where it's all the shit revoked. I don't know what the fuck you need to be a judge. I know they're normally lawyers, but all that shit needs to go away. She needs to do some prison time. I mean, can you believe it? That's the world we live in.
Yeah, I mean, aiding and abetting an illegal criminal.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she should, and the thing is, she should know better. Of all people, being a judge, that she needs 20 years.
Oh, well, then
I
she
think
tried to
needs
say
20
she was
years.
immune. When you say she knows better, you remember she was saying that she should be immune to it, to whatever charges they're trying to, you know, get her for. Like, why? Because you're a judge.
Well, in
you're
her
immune
mind,
to,
she's
like, you don't
trying to
have follow
stop
the law.
fascism.
Yeah, that's just
You
it.
know, and she's a fucking retard.
Yeah, oh,
But-
I know. I know.
That's-
She
that's
probably
what she
doesn't
did.
know what a woman is, you know?
Like Ketanji Brown Jackson.
Oh, yeah. Well, she got lit up by that Amy Coney Barrett for saying some
Fuck
stupid
Amy
shit.
Coney Barrett. That's a bitch.
You don't like her either?
No, she's
What do you have
trash,
against
like-
her?
Okay, so Ketanji Brown Jackson, I know, is just really, she's a crackpot. 100% woke out of her mind, and she couldn't explain what a woman is. And
Oh, I
she's
know.
on the
I
Supreme
remember
Court.
that. Yeah.
But Amy Coney
Well,
Barrett
she's not a
goes against.
biologist.
No, but Amy Coney Barrett goes against every fucking good Republican thing every time. She might as well be a fucking Democrat. And then she wants to sit up there and talk shit like last time. You finally fucking voted with the legit motherfuckers. You finally were on the side of Clarence Thomas. And that's very fucking rare, and it shouldn't be like that, because she's not conservative. She's a fucking liberal. She is a
I don't. Well,
hardcore
again,
fucking
though,
liberal.
like I actually like her because I don't think the court should be liberal or conservative. Like even right now,
No,
they're
but
like,
it
"Oh,
should
it's a
be
conservative
common sense
court,"
at
like-
least. And
well,
if
I
you're
mean, it's not
siding
just
with
about common
the
sense; it's about
wokeness,
the laws. Well, I mean, again, I'd have to go over some of the cases, but sometimes there are laws that you don't like, and I think she does a good job in following the law, no matter what side it falls on. I think that's what they all should do. Clearly,
they definitely should, and it wouldn't be a left and right. There's common sense, and the left do not have that argument. And the way that she always sides with the liberals.
Well, I mean, she doesn't
She was a
always. She
bad
clearly
pick.
didn't do it on this
Trump
one.
cannot pick fucking people to save his life. That was the worst pick I've ever seen.
Amy, really?
Oh yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Worst pick you've ever seen.
Yeah, she's terrible. She is absolutely terrible. Sorry. All right, so we're gonna go with You remember this dude?
Your response to him calling you Jose?
Well, he knows my name. He knows my name. Look, sadly, it's just an indicator of how petty and unserious this administration is. Right? He's the vice president of the United States. You think he'd take the situation in Los Angeles more seriously? You think maybe he'd take a moment to talk to some of the families who have been impacted, have been terrorized, to feel what's really going on the ground. You saw him shaking hands with Marines, but did he listen to the Marines? Because we have, the report after report of the Marines, so many of the Marines themselves that don't want to be there. That's not why they enlisted. Or if not the migrant families, how about the employers, right, who I know are speaking up because they're concerned about their workforce? Or how about this? Just take a moment and talk to the sheriff of Los Angeles County. Talk to the chief of police of Los Angeles City and hear from them their frustration for the lack of communication.
All right, so that dude was ready to start crying because JD Vance called him Jose instead of Alan, or what the fuck was his name?
It was Alex. But I loved how diverse that MSNBC panel was. They had the black guy and another black guy, and I was like, yes, so diverse. I love it. No white people in sight.
Nice.
Isn't it?
It is beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
So that was the same fucking cocksucker who was crying after he got put in handcuffs, and he's like, they put me down on my chest.
Yeah.
And just acting all weird about it. Like, motherfucker.
I was forced onto my knees and they got on top of me.
That was the most polite takedown I've ever seen.
Well, not only
I've
that, but
seen
he's just
grandmas
looking
getting
for
taken
clout.
down harder than that.
He's looking for clout, and on top of that, listen, we wouldn't have to be doing it if you didn't let all of them in. I mean, look at how California is running. I just, again, like somebody like that should just be ashamed to even show their face. They really should be. Like, from what I hear, Los Angeles is a hellhole. I mean, it used to be one of the most beautiful states in the United States of America, and they just managed to ruin it. Just like where we are in Minnesota. I mean, is it even recognizable anymore? Me and you were just talking about the Walmart close to where we live. I won't name the city, but it's very, it's also full of immigrants, shall we say. Mm-hmm. And again, a lot of people, when they talk about immigrants, it's not even, Mexican immigrants. It's, people like to throw that out there like, oh, racist and this and that. Oh, you just don't like brown people. No, I think there's a lot of immigrants besides Mexicans out there. Especially in Minneapolis, we have a huge Somali population. Home of Ilhan Omar.
I think it's the hugest in the world, actually.
I think it's not the world, but the United States.
Are you sure about that? I would have to check that.
I'm sure the Somali population in Somalia is probably bigger than Minneapolis.
I don't think so.
Oh god!
But yeah, it's crazy, and yeah.
And again, listen, I don't have anything against them either, but you clearly don't want to assimilate. You don't want to be an American. You don't want to live the life of a Westerner, which makes me wonder why you came here in the first place. And I'll tell you one of the reasons, because we keep bombing places in the Middle East. That's why I was against the Iran strikes. That's why a lot of conservatives were, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and say what you will, a lot of them are saying, oh, he ended it, it's not going to go on. But again, you keep, doing this, you keep fucking around in the Middle East, it just drives them out, drives them, into places like Europe. You look at what's going on in the UK and Ireland and places like that, and even America. There's a lot of people that think we're immune to it. Don't be surprised, anything can happen here.
Well, I mean, we have our fair share of shit. Like, we're not getting bombed, but we're getting poisoned through fentanyl from China, given to Mexico to bring through our borders to kill our youth.
Yeah. Well,
so,
again,
it's not like there's different ways of attacking people. When you flood a country with mass immigration, and they're pretty much getting paid for with the fucking American people's money.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, no. Did you hear what's happening in New York? I think they just got another $1 billion to put towards the illegal immigrant population there. Did you hear about that? $1 billion. My goodness.
Yeah, but that don't surprise me, and I think those are the low numbers. They're not going to tell you what they're really spending. They're spending a lot more than what they can say they are. I mean,
Yeah.
they're giving every illegal criminal health care. And they'll be like, "Oh, they're not criminals, blah blah blah." It's like, yeah, you came over to our country, you invaded. You're a criminal. If fucking J6 grandma walking through the Capitol is a criminal, then yeah, these motherfuckers are definitely criminals. So
Yeah.
fuck out of here. That's some ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
I'm out. Peace out. I'm glad the big beautiful bill passed.
Again, I think it spends too much money. Like again, they put $100 billion towards
ICE.
ICE, and I'm like, listen, I'm all about supporting ICE. I want to get people out, but you really need $100 billion for that? Do people even recognize how much money that is? That's not $1 million. That's not 6 million. It's not 600 million. It's not 1 billion. It's not five. It's $100
That's what you had to
billion.
do. And I put that on the Democrats. When the Democrats wouldn't let Trump build that fucking wall, and Joe Biden started tearing down the fucking walls, and all these illegals poured in. That's what happens. That's what happens. We could have had that wall built for $5 billion. It's like, you have your fucking.
That's what I'm saying. Can't you still build the wall for $5 billion and then maybe put another $5 billion? Like you need $100 billion. Do you know how much? I mean, that's a lot of fucking money.
Yeah, you gotta do more. You want walls that they're not gonna be able to take down, and it's gonna be a beautiful wall. It will be.
Oh, I don't know if anybody will take it down. It'd be so unpopular at this point. I mean, I think most liberals even are at the state where they're like, yeah, we do need to do something. Not the ones you see on TV and the news, but the old-fashioned ones. Yeah, like.
Yeah, and that's a funny thing. Like, you can be like, do you want lower taxes to a liberal? And they'll be like, yeah, of course. It's like, what about the immigration? Should we do something about the immigration? They're like, yeah, of course. And it's like, well, Trump's doing those things. And they're like,
yeah, well, I mean, it's yeah. Well, again, it's, the old school Democrats used to talk about it. Bernie Sanders talked about it. Even Bill Clinton talked about it, immigration. And I do think
even Chuck Schumer was talking about that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Chuck Schumer back when he had hair.
Yep. And listen, I am all for legal immigration. I do think it should be easier to be a legal immigrant. I don't think, for some of these people, it takes years and a lot of fucking money. I don't think it should be that hard, but at the same time, that's the way to do it. I think it should be less hard to be a legal citizen and, maybe vet more people who are coming over. Like, I get it. There's a lot of people that do come over here because they want a better life, but at the same time, Americans want a better life too, and we ain't getting it, like, we got to sort our own shit out.
We're footing the bill for a lot of motherfuckers coming over here illegally. Then we're footing the bill for a lot of motherfuckers who just don't want to go to work, and we're sitting here with slaving, working our fucking life away, and we don't have enough money to get ahead. You can work 2 goddamn jobs and still not get ahead, and that's the issue. And it's going to be a lot harder for those people that are doing it the right way. I've known people. I know a lot of people who came over here the legal way. I mean, that's 10 years. You got to know a lot of shit about the country, the assimilation project, the process, and as well as like they celebrate that shit when they become citizens, and that's the thing. As for Joe Biden's just like, let's bring everybody over here, man. Come on. And obviously Joe Biden wasn't running the White House. But it's silly. Like, how are you gonna flood? And I mean, it's happening in Europe too. Like, all these countries are just, who's doing this? Who do you think's behind this push to just massively just throw a chaotic scene of bullshit to every country?
Well, it's definitely the deep state. It's our owners. Nobody knows who these people are. These are, the Bill Gates types, but even more than him, like people above him, like you don't really know their names. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make shit so bad that people are starting to give up their freedoms. People are willing to give up their freedoms to feel safe. And, I try not to live through, oh shit, my shit's shaking. Try not to live in fear.
It's a deep state.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, and, but that's what it is. They want to make shit so bad that people are willing to give up their, like, I heard somebody, like some actor, I forgot who the fuck it was, and over in the UK is now talking about, they should rethink making knives. because they don't.
Oh,
you don't
I
have
seen
the guns.
that.
Yeah, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding? So we have to change. Like the whole world's got to change because there's too many criminal thugs out there. How about we just get fucking rid of them?
Mm-hmm.
Put them in the chair, up against the wall, whatever. Then we don't have to worry. Like again, they made swords illegal in one of these countries. I heard. I forgot which one, but again, you're not allowed to have a sword. Why? Because you're catering to the criminals. You're taking away my freedom because of what criminals do. And yeah, people are just losing their freedoms little by little.
That's the funny thing. Criminals are still going to get whatever they need.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're the only ones who have to abide by the law.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same shit with...
I shouldn't be allowed to have a chef's knife because, criminals will use it to stab you.
Yeah, and they'll have one. And it's like it's the dumbest thing. They'll be like, the no guns allowed, the gun shit in Chicago, their policy is trash. So they're telling all these people, law-abiding citizens, like, you cannot have guns, right? But then the criminals go out and then they start shooting people, and they're like, you're not allowed to do that, right? Like, you can't murder people either, right?
Yeah. No,
and they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I had a friend, and a great guy, super kind, good guy, but we got into this debate about guns and stuff too, and he basically said, he's like, if somebody broke into my house with a gun, I would put up my hands and say, take what you want. And I'm like, really? I'm like, I don't think I'm this, big built badass or anything, but it's like a bully, right? What do you do with the bully? When you're bullied and bullied and bullied, everybody's going to tell you, eventually you got to punch the bully. It's the only way to get him to stop fucking with you, right? It's the same thing with guns. I'm not about killing people, but if you are the type of person that's like, hey, I'm going to put up my hands, take what you want because they're things, they can be replaced. Okay, well, you're going to get pistol whipped. He's probably going to rape your woman. I mean, and again, then he's going to tell all his homies that this motherfucker don't put up a fight. I don't understand it. I really don't. Yeah, I'm all for the Second Amendment, all for defending yourself. I think that we should have a stand your ground law here in Minnesota. Yeah. Of course, Tim Walsh would never do that.
Minnesota is one of the worst. You have to retreat to the farthest room.
Yes.
And
look it up, people, for the viewers. It's not no joke. You have a duty to retreat. That's what it's called, a duty to retreat. To leave my house, to leave my property. And I told my buddy, I'm like, listen, it ain't just about things. I have, a lot of shit here, heirlooms. Like, you'll see some of the shit on the side of me. That's my mom's stuff, my great grandmother's stuff. Like, that shit that can't be replaced. I'm not gonna let somebody just come in and take it.
Yeah,
again, you would allow that.
They're getting smoked straight up. Like, it's gonna be like 1,000, boom.
Yeah.
So unless you have a great motherfucking reason for entering my crib without me knowing it,
yeah,
it's not a good idea.
Yeah, no, don't do it. I don't. Yeah, and again, yep, you will. Yep, it's like that meme with Danny DeVito when he's like, and so anyways, I started blasting. Yeah. I mean, it's, again, they got, and I remember talking about this with one of our uncles, and, we were talking about defunding the police, right? Oh, people think the police are racist. They want to defund the police here in Minneapolis. All right, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Let's defund the police and get rid of them. But then we also have to put in a stand your ground law. So when you come into my house and I blow you away, that's what it is. You don't want police, fine, but then give me the right to defend myself. They don't want that either. They want to defund the police while also saying if you shoot a criminal that breaks into your home, that's illegal too. It's
Well, that's the whole Ponzi scheme of the thing. So when these criminals do some crazy shit, and then let's just say they assault someone with a deadly weapon, and they're just criminals, bum-ass people, don't have jobs. They go in there, the DAs are just like, oh, no, don't worry about it, cut them loose. And it goes on over and over because they know they're not going to get any money from those people in the court system. Right? Because otherwise, what are they going to do? Lock them up? Then they got to pay for that shit? No, what they do is go after law-abiding citizens who do have an issue and something happens, they get assaulted or something, then they go after them. They charge them a bunch of money because they can afford it and they can get back on with their life. So when you have a job and you're going into the criminal justice system, they're gonna fuck you. If you're a bum ass not working, you're gonna be free every fucking time. They're not gonna lock you up. They're not gonna do shit.
Yeah.
Because
especially here in Minneapolis. You got Mary Moriarty, like that bitch is worthless. And that Chief O'Hare or whatever came out and was talking about the 4th of July, like, oh, listen, the last few years have been wild. If you try to do anything, you will be arrested. You're gonna be and what, let out in 4 or 5 hours? I mean, you're not gonna charge these people with nothing. You're not gonna keep them in jail. What are you even going on the news and threatening these people for? Yeah, again, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I can't deal with it.
There was that one dude.
Fucking Minneapolis is what it is.
Well, you remember that dude keyed like 5 different Teslas and he threw the shit out. And he
went to some sort of program. They're gonna teach him that what he did was wrong.
He didn't even have to pay. Did he have to pay a fine? I
think he had to pay the damages, but again, I don't want him to pay the damages. I want him to stay behind bars.
Yeah, exactly. So you did. He keyed 5 Teslas, and then a woman keyed a car, not a Tesla, but a car. Yeah, I don't know what kind of car it was, and she got prison time. Like, did she get 6 months?
It's something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah. And again, you know what's funny is not only did they let this guy go because he was a liberal, you know, fucking with the Tesla. But this is white privilege, right? Like, this one broad got like months in jail or prison time, and this dude let out. It's like these same people that whine about white privilege don't care when this sort of shit happens. Like, you know, me and you working, getting jobs.
You know that was a black chick, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was a black chick that did prison time and a white dude that got. That's what I'm talking about. And, you know, people talk about white privilege, but it's like they don't care about that. I'd be like, no, give his ass just as much time as a black chick. Like, it's fucked up.
Yeah,
it's not white privilege, it's liberal privilege.
Black.
It's liberal
exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth.
You beat me to it. No, I don't have no privilege. No privilege at all. Let me tell you, I grew up in a mostly black neighborhood, went to a mostly black schools. Yeah, no privilege here, homie.
I'm running on about 0% white guilt. Let's go to the next video, though. We got some good ones still. We got. It's funny. Okay, do this one. We got Jake Tapeworm
on a left-leaning podcast that shall remain nameless, and we were talking about my kids because I think they were both people without kids. And they asked me about my son, and I said he was, you know, he's a football player and he wants to be a policeman. And their joke was about my 15-year-old son. Oh, how does he feel about minorities? Like the idea that he wants to be a policeman, therefore he's racist, my son. And like, you know, that was the big laugh. And then I got dragged in the comments and all that stuff. And I thought to myself, this is why you fuckers are losing elections.
100%.
Like my football playing son, who has no political views, he's 15. He thinks about World War II and gaming and playing linebacker. That's his world. You're deciding he's a racist because he wants to be a cop. And why does he want to be a cop? He wants to be a cop because he wants to help people, you know? And he thinks that's the best way he can help people. And that's how the Democratic Party talks to men. Not just white men, but men.
All right.
I mean, he is 100% right, but sorry, Jake, you're about a couple years too late. I mean, we've been talking about it. It's like that fucking book that he wrote about Joe Biden. Like, can you believe it? They hit that he was in cognitive decline. Motherfucker, we all knew he was in cognitive. Like, you just now catching up just like this.
Yeah, the pendulum's swinging, like, and he's trying to hop on that motherfucker.
Yeah, this is how they talk to not just white men, but men. You don't say, Jay. You don't say. If only we had known earlier. I'm glad you're letting us know now. God.
Yeah, like when Don Lemon was like, white people are the biggest threat in America right now. Jay Tapeworm's like,
Oh yeah, him and Chris Cuomo.
Fucking clowns.
Yeah. Oh God, it is. It's the most ridiculous thing. You know what I love though is people aren't buying it anymore. Like maybe 10, 15 years ago, people would have been stupid enough to keep buying that sort of shit, but nobody's buying it anymore. Like, they already know he's full of shit. They already know he lied. And that's what he is. He's a liar. Like, you know, he's just now getting around to the truth. Again, truth that we've known about for a very long time.
But it's funny, like, I feel really disrespected if I get lied to, and even more so if I get lied to about serious shit. And people who have been lied to for so long, they have to know some of the shit is lies, but they're not mad at them at all, you know? Like, they're just like, oh, whatever.
And they keep listening to him. Yeah, they keep listening to him. It's like, how many times are you going to get kicked in the face before you finally say enough? It's, again, some of my old liberal friends. I'm like, the Democratic Party has lied to you over and over and over again, right up until, you know, Joe Biden. Let me tell you something. If Joe Biden had not had this debate where the whole world seen his brain was mush and they couldn't deny it, they would still be running that motherfucker. They would still try to push him through. They would still be lying to people. And could you imagine if Joe Biden was president right now? They wanted him for another 4 years. Yeah, he could have won. What if he was president right now? They would still be lying to you, saying, oh, he's just fine. He's got a stutter. I remember one of these guys that I worked with, I was talking with about that. I'm like, you really don't think that Joe Biden is like, he's got Alzheimer's? He's got to, like, I mean, I've seen it happen, you know, in my family. Like, I know what it looks like. He clearly has something wrong with him. That's what he tried. He's like, oh, he's got a stutter. And it's like, really, you believe that stupid shit? Like, sorry, I feel like I'm spitting here. Like, you know, it's that passion.
Spitting truth.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, yeah, and that's the funny thing is he has a stutter, but like you can see the way he looks, and I listen to all his town halls because I know liberals aren't going to listen to Trump ones, but I'll listen to everything and shit. And honestly, I wanted to turn it into a drinking game, but I don't really drink. But it was still fun because that dude was ridiculous fuck. Like, especially the one with the red background and shit, and he was slamming his fists and shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
he had a lot of energy.
Yeah, until the Adderall wore off. But
so the Coke, I think it was his Coke in the White House that they never, you know, found.
Just get in the booth. Come on, man. Whoa, what's that? But yeah,
we're going over here, Joe. You did it. You answered all the questions. You knew the answer. Oh man!
Remember when the Easter, the fucking bunny, the mascot bunny had to like guide him? Just like, what the fuck? Don't talk to those people. You can't handle questions. Well, he's just like sniffing a kid's face.
Well, no, listen, listen, there were some young people in his administration. They couldn't keep up with him. Remember? Oh man. God, thank God, like we got Donald Trump again. Say what you will, even if you don't like Donald Trump. Way better than Kamala Harris. There's a lot of shit that he's done that I disagree with, but good Lord, like Kamala would have done 10 times worse.
Like, think if we would have just went from 2016, 2020, and then we had Trump in already, and like, then this would have been like probably Ron DeSantis or something like that. Like, how much better it would have been, like these last 5 years, technically, not including like Trump right now, but like if we didn't have Biden and we had Trump, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's, yeah. Well, I think if Joe Biden would have continued running and he actually made it, I think they would have definitely flipped him out for Kamala. Like, that was their plan. I don't think he would have done the full 4 years. There's no way he could have, no matter how much they tried to hide him.
Yeah, and I still think I still have some issues with the 2020 election. We'll speak about that another time. Because we're on YouTube now.
Yes, that's a good thing. Rumble, as much as I appreciate them being an alternative, they're just not as happening. I don't like their format as much.
No. All right. Throw this switch on there.
Country today that men have ran, and look at how shit it is.
We're the strongest superpower in the world. What?
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
You know, countries are warning their people to stay away from us.
What?
Because of how shitty we are.
Do you realize people try to come here illegally every single day?
I'm I'm an immigrant.
Where did she immigrate from? Retardistan?
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I don't understand if she thought it was so horrible why she immigrated here. I mean,
I don't think she was an immigrant. I think she was like, my color says I'm an immigrant type shit.
We're all immigrants, Keith. We're all immigrants. Stolen land.
Yup, exactly. But she was a weirdo and shit, and
oh no, you can tell. But then again, so is what's that? Myron Gaines, is that his name?
I think so.
Yeah, he's kind of a weirdo too, though.
He definitely has his moments.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He says a lot of shit that is, correct. But I also know people that have tried to do interviews with him and debate him, but he won't debate with, because scared.
I don't think he's scared. I think he just don't have the time.
Don't have the time.
Big things.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's lighting them up though. All right, what else we got? That was just a fun one. God damn, do we go there? I think we did.
I'll just say for me, I'll just speak for myself. I ain't no spokesperson. I have spoken out on behalf of Black Lives Matter, George Floyd. I have spoken out on behalf of women's rights. I called Clarence Thomas Uncle Clarence. I've spoken on abortion rights. Every single thing under the sun on social media in the last, 10 years. Let's say 10 years. I've spoken out. I put a black square up there like a during Black Lives Matter. Don't you feel like an now for putting up a black square during Black Lives Matter when nobody is coming and saying anything on our behalf? Jewish people, Zionist people, they're not calling, they're not texting, they're not tweeting.
Hey, black people. Michael Rappaport posted a black square for Blackout Tuesday on Instagram. And now that Jews are getting heat online, where are my black people?
All right, just to let everybody know, we are now switching to Rumble because shit's about to get deep. And anyway,